fighting for victories. I think that was kind of what we saw in Game 1.
Yeah.
It was kind of Teddy fighting against the bros. Game 2 was they were all fighting together. And, you know, I got to say, casting Game 1, really uninspired all-out performance. But Game 2, the Jace, way better. So nice to see a bounce back from him specifically. We get into draft in Game 3, and we've maintained HANJIN BRION having first pick and BNK FEARX having second pick for the entire series.
Yeah.
Let's see what that means in terms of picks now in this third game. So some of the things that were banned away that I think are going to rise in priority, maybe get let through, like the Jarvan.
Yeah,
it's a pretty high prior pick. You know, Ezreal's gone out of the equation.
I think Lucian should still be banned.
Yes, I would agree. They're banning Kellin. They want Lucian. HANJIN BRION want Lucian, I think. I don't think they might go for a first pick if it's not banned.
It might mean that Melio gets picked away, but with Caitlyn there, I feel like Caitlyn is the only other sort of Melio-able champion, and otherwise it just feels a little bit...
Also, you face the risk of them going Lucian Yuumi.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then you don't have the pressure to really shut them down.
Well, the second ban to come on through here, probably a Vi. Something like that. Nocturne as well.
Yeah, I think Cassiopeia via like the locked bans. Third one, they might have to ban Lucian to prevent it. I imagine HANJIN BRION are fishing for that right now.
Well, could be a Nocturne ban then for that reason, but instead
no, they ban it.
Lucian. Okay, weird.
So not want to go towards it, but limiting a lot of the options in the bot lane for BNK FEARX.
I wonder what Teddy has on his mind. Might be like a Yunara angle or something like that. I imagine the first pick, Jarvan or Nocturne, will definitely be coming in, though, because that is the trade that is up for grabs right now. BNK FEARX could ban something completely different away and just leave those two up in the air. See where they do actually decide to go. The lock will be banned, and so Jarvan or Nocturne, pick your poison, is kind of how it feels now for our junglers.
And HANJIN BRION have the possibility just to pass over the decision to BNK FEARX if they want to kind of leave them both open. And
just
pick up
slam a Lulu, perhaps. But
they go for the Nocturne instead.
All right.
So if BNK FEARX opt to go for the Jarvan here, I think denying the Lulu could also be a big pickup. Nocturne Lulu being very potent. Nocturne Nico, fortunately, though, not available. And it looks like, I mean, you don't actually have to pick up the Jarvan now, so they're just going to go Yunara Lulu and deny that Lulu combo.
I think it's really smart.
Makes sense.
I think this was one of the gambits that HANJIN BRION had to throw. And it looks like BNK FEARX, in my mind, this is the right choice. If it is going to be the Lulu locked in immediately afterwards. This combo has been more powerful on this patch. And Kellin is a great Lulu player as well, so I really do like this. Maybe we'll see Teddy and Namgung play something a little bit more aggressive, but instead, it's going to be the Ashe Seraphine most likely locked in here. So a lot of utility coming out of that bottom lane.
Yeah, and you can fire those long-range ultimates. The Encore can follow the Nocturne along as he goes in, or once he gets on top of a target. I think Jarvan has even more value here, just with the fact that it's into the Ashe Seraphine. So I imagine that will be picked up. You can jump on top of them, get the wild growth as well. A lot of value.
I also feel like Kha'Zix is obviously very powerful, but never mind, it will be the Jarvan locked in.
So both teams going for like a pairing in the bot lane. Should be Teddy and Namgung having a bit more pressure, but we know how fearsome this Yunara Lulu can be later in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And in terms of the solo lanes, some of the picks that haven't been looked at yet that are pretty high value. Ambessa, Rumble, really high value in the top lane. Syndra, still a prospect in the mid lane.
Yep.
We have seen generally VicLa has been playing a lot of these utility picks. Like he's played Annie, Galio, other series he was playing like Lissandra. It kind of feels like that has been BNK FEARX's game plan recently, VicLa on those utilities. So I wonder if he'll have a look back towards them, if it'll be something like the Lissandra coming out.
Yeah, I actually feel like Lissandra would be pretty powerful for Brion as well, given the fact that they can then turn the lights off and then put someone in a frozen tomb, start the fight off that way, get those frozen thralls involved. But the Yorick is going to be taken away.
Interesting to get the Yorick ban when the Jace is already out of the equation. But we did used to see Yorick in a Rumble sometimes, so it really suggests that BNK FEARX want to secure Rumble.
Yep. I think casting probably wants to play Nah. That's what I'm expecting. Silas will be taken away, and so they definitely want to play Nah.
There's a lot of value already if a Silas was picked up here into this, so taking that one away big, and they will just go for that Rumble for clear. Not wanting to go for counter pick here because they're so adamant on securing the Rumble now, hence banning away the counters.
It does feel like an Ornn would fit this composition really well if the bros really just want to play the full-on late game.
Yep, good read. And we've often seen those tanks into Rumble just able to scale up. Whether the Storm, you get Koenig, and you find so much engaged potential from HANJIN BRION that it's going to have to be a phenomenal game from Taeyoon, but they do also have that threat in the top lane of the Rumble. I'm just wondering what VicLa is going to pick to bolster that.
Yeah, and what Roamer is also going to be picking up here as well. Feels like an Aurora, feels like a decent idea. Aurora and Nocturne has been a combo we've seen before.
Yeah, I think Aurora good. I think Syndra's fine too.
Yep.
We've seen Syndra be, even though Cataclysm can feel uncomfortable, I think Syndra just interrupts what Jarvan does with the flag and drag so well. Makes it difficult for them to start a fight.
Well, you can see Roma is going to go the Freljordian way this time around. Man, I am like mind-locked with the bros. It's kind of crazy. As the Ahri for VicLa would not be a surprise. Has been one of his better picks. That's not a mid laner on this patch, although it has been. Oh, I don't know about TF.
I think TF feels a bit uncomfortable here.
Yeah.
I know you have the ability to play the map, but yeah, I prefer the Ahri. Having the mobility to dodge away from some of these big tools, I think TF's just too immobile. And if you try and walk up to get the gold card down, they can just press their buttons and kill you. So I think HANJIN BRION, a lot of threat to try and deal with Taeyoon, but there's multiple threats on the side of BNK FEARX. You can't just one-shot the animated carry and be like, okay, job done. Later in the game, that might be enough, but they have to respect the fact that resets will come through for VicLa. Clay as well has a lot of impact for the ultimate. It should be an explosive game. There's tons of playmaking potential on both sides here.
I do think that if HANJIN BRION get the team fights that they're looking for, though, like you're just going to spend your entire team fight in the sky. If you're BNK FEARX, there's going to be encores, there's going to be trains, there's going to be arrows, there's going to be big dangerous circles doing billions of damage. This is going to be a rough one. Wait, are that 3D glasses? A little bit perplexed. Spoiler, that's the bro coach booth in 20 minutes. So they're the glasses that allow you to see the future that I believe she stole from a CGV and is now caught live on camera. And we'll perhaps have someone coming out of the little CGV popcorn stand that we do have here to take her into custody.
Those are pretty valuable glasses, so understandable.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes you give yourself up, but for the sake of the bros. And honestly, respect. Massive respect. That one night in jail, she's going to feel very proud of herself. And we're going to be proud of her as well. Let's get on to the riff for game number 3. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the riff for game number 3. The decider between the bros and BNK FEARX. If the bros win this, they're the kings of the Rise group. And in our hearts, I think they already were. But they'll actually be if they're able to win it here. As some electrocution coming down. A little bit of delayed response there. See, Roamer is just happily dealing with the wave as best he can.
There's Dragon a Chemtech as well, so eliminating one of those less valuable souls already.
If it's an Ocean next, then we'll know that whoever gets the first couple of Drakes is going to be feeling very, very happy with themselves. As Roamer, I believe, just took a turret shot. Totally didn't want that, as another coordinated electrocution comes through.
Pretty in sync.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily working out for Roamer, who did take that extra damage from the turret. We'll see how he is going to be able to attack this one. Still sitting on a potion.
Yeah, should be okay with that. And again,
unless he just straight up dies right now, there's the bounce away, but the Orbit Deception just goes wide, and so he's wandering back. Just popped the potion, and now he's going home. That feels bad. Yeah,
not the highest value out of that one. A lot of trading going on in the mid lane. I'm interested how this bot lane's going to end up going, though, because obviously it's the pressure in favor of Teddy and Namgung here. Already they got the shove in. And Taeyoon and Kellin, there are windows. I think level 6 is a big spike. I mean, obviously it is for Teddy and Namgung as well, but you have the cleanse to potentially outplay that. It also matters if you can get stacked up on the wave for Taeyoon.
Yeah, this is looking rough to begin with, though. So the bros with a lot of control in all of these lanes, actually. We've seen this this Rumble Ornn go both ways, right? Like, I think we explain it quite often, but the Ornn isn't a counter pick necessarily, it's just I'm a tank and I can live.
Well, notably, Clear went for the Deathfire touch. We've often seen the Fierce Strike into tanks, so you can just farm up a big gold lead on the back of just beating on the Ornn.
Yeah.
But going Deathfire touch is going to give you a bit more damage, obviously, but it means if you don't get that lead naturally, you're just going to be less effective as the game goes on. You don't get that free injection of gold just from trading heavily.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit rough. As Raptor here, while this Rift Scuttler is going to get spawned, and Dustbringer comes out from GIDEON. He might get a little bit frightened here. The flag is now on cooldown, and he is going to get feared. Roma to land some of this damage over, and there is the flash onto the blast cone. GIDEON was thinking about continuing to follow as he flags and drags to get himself back home.
Yeah, I think he figured that his flag and drag was back up soon, so he didn't want to like commit for the chase and then just get bitted away. He's happy with the results that he forced him away, he got his flash. Jarvan flash early, super high value as well in terms of setting up ganks. And now he can go and just get the scuttle on the other side of the map.
Yep. A very happy Nocturne here with finally a bit of control in the early game, because remember in the last game, it wasn't yesterday, it was still today, even if it was a longer game. Raptor just ran the early game on his Naafiri, looked absolutely fantastic. So GIDEON, a little bit of respite here, actually gets an early scuttle, and will now move over and take his respawning wolves as well. Pretty extended first clear here for the Nocturne.
Clear with some points in his queue, getting a lot of damage down on a casting, but still even in farm for the time being.
Yeah, casting can also be building some items as well, as now we've got the Frost Shot at work. Casting down to 200 health here in this top lane, but bottom side of the map, do see some champions running out of mana and stuff like that, but Taeyoon and Kellin, they catch on to this wave, and with their health advantage, will be able to get this one shoved out. There's another volley to come through, though, from Teddy, as the beat drop is not going to quite land. And now Raptor looking for an angle onto Roma. Roma knows that he doesn't have to worry about any sort of flag drag flash. And so it is nothing that can really be done.
Well, this
by
is
BNK.
risky from Raptor going for this when you don't have flash.
And it is going to be the secure, but now he does have to get himself out of here. Still gets feared momentarily as the flash forward from Roma, trying to find the combo damage. And they're chasing after this this Jarvan, but it's not quite
the combo.
enough. And he does manage to get that combo off. GIDEON is led towards this Gromp. As the control ward does go down, GIDEON is spotted. The Hawkshot spies what Raptor is up to.
Such a heavy investment there from HANJIN BRION. Raptor's hanging around.
Yeah, there's another fear, as I don't know whether Raptor really wants this, even with Kellin alongside. I think that GIDEON is just that little bit too healthy, and he does manage to get the smite.
GIDEON's Gromp manages to get it, but you would have felt so bad. I mean, it still doesn't feel weird at all. You committed 2 flashes, and all you got was a Gromp, but at least you got that. I think GIDEON just didn't want to walk away with nothing.
If they hadn't have got the Gromp, though, you're right, it would have been absolutely devastating. Maybe we'd have to just let them have a free forfeit if that was the case. I know we don't really have surrender votes in pro play anymore, but perhaps we'd be lenient this time, because yeah, that would have been pretty devastating. VicLa and Roma now hanging out in this mid lane, continuing to do damage to one another. Roma this time isn't taking turret shots, so he is going to be fine. 3 CS down, but the Aurora is kind of okay with that. Sort of the price you pay trying to help out your jungler.
Yeah, and I mean, being down flash, not that much of a concern for an Aurora when you have so many tools for evading. Might cost you in an all-in, potentially, if VicLa goes like a charm flash and it connects. But a lot of safety still afforded to this mid laner. GIDEON almost level 6, both junglers, of course, but GIDEON's ult a very impactful one.
Okay, Taeyoon moving forward.
I mean, so far the bot lane has been going pretty good for BNK FEARX, all things considered.
Yeah,
level 6, not too far away, but it's not super reliable for HANJIN BRION when there's a cleanse on the other side. You can definitely see those ults just not getting the most value. Whereas it's very hard not to get value with the ult from Taeyoon as long as you're in range to hit something.
Teddy as well went back and just got a BF sword. We haven't seen like a BF sword first buy in quite some time. Pretty impressive.
Nice buy timing.
Yeah.
I think often is, you see a lot of champions who wouldn't mind going BF first, but just can't find the timing to recall for that money. Jhin is an example who just ends up going Dirk instead as a result.
Yeah, and doesn't necessarily feel as good. But still, Taeyoon probably kind of okay with this, as we can see. Even in farm, only down about 3. And in a lane like this, I think you're very happy about it. That being said, I feel like Ashe Seraphine these days isn't like a must-win lane. Like, you're still just highly valuable as you get later into the game.
Still scales very well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I do think Teddy, this is a tough game for him. There's a lot of ability to punish his inability, and the arrow misses.
That was a weird arrow.
GIDEON was actually moving down. He was ready to go in. If Kellin had eaten that arrow, it would have been Encore, it would have been Paranoia, he would have been dead. So, an important dodge away. Honestly, even if he'd flashed the arrow, maybe that would have been enough for GIDEON to commit to the play. So, the natural dodge got a long way. And now, Slurkle setting up potential gank.
Yeah, Namgung speeding himself up, though. Does get that surround sound. There's the real heal to come out. Real heal, starring Hugh Jackman. As Taeyoon just going to back away, and it is just some heals being thrown down.
And I think the reason they're so tentative, they don't just want a Cataclysm when they know the flashes are up, is because they know GIDEON could be in the area, and he does show himself on a ward. Committing to that play with a Nocturne, able just to fly in, would be so dangerous.
I would assume that GIDEON is on the top side of the map, personally, because the grubs are up, but he's not, so they did have a good read.
Circumventing expectations.
Yeah. It's been a lot of that today.
I think it does help that BNK FEARX have a ward on the grubs to definitely know he's not there right now.
Unclear and casting, continuing to do battle up here towards his top side, but the Ornn very happy from what we can see right now. Going to be building himself some items, putting things together, and does have the Spectre's Cowl, the key item into the Rumble.
If you haven't gotten the early pressure in this matchup and he finishes Koenig, it's never happening. So.
No.
Raptor, though, on the grubs.
Wait, GIDEON, your grubs! They're going down. Okay, well, Clear is going to get the inside track. There is no Ornn to move over, as GIDEON does at least get one of these, but there are two going over to BNK FEARX. GIDEON just giving up on his grubs. It's a very sad thing.
Guess more of a GIDEON Gromp game.
Yeah, certainly has been GIDEON Gromp so far. But the Gromp is now up on his side of the map. We're going to need him to get over there. Otherwise, we're not going to know what his name stands for.
He's heading straight to it.
Okay, good. There we go. All right, so it is just GIDEON Gromp. And first rate hasn't actually been looked at. Been up for about 5 minutes, but no one really paying it too much attention when it is that Chemtech. It is less valuable as a singular dragon. But starting to get these stacked up, I think, could be very valuable for either side. And,
honestly, I feel like the early Chemtech with the compositions we have, like there's a decent amount of shield.
True.
Like Rumble, Scrap Shield early.
Yeah, it's Lulu, Seraphine just in general.
Yeah, I feel like even like Infernal Dragon early just isn't that much AD or AP. Like the percentage is so small now that, and also its nasty is not crazy, but may make a difference. But I think mainly it's just obviously Dragons, the value is the soul, and the fact that it's not a Chemtech soul feels pretty nice.
Yep. I think if you're Bro, you really want to lock it down because you want to extend this game as long as you possibly can. So getting a Drake will just mean that if your opponent gets some Drakes, it's going to take them longer to get there. And with a composition like this that wants to dole out the ornaments and really play these late-game team fights with your beefcakes in the front and your utility in the back, it's what I'm sort of seeing for the Bros. Plus, they're the Bros, so they want to play as slowly as possible.
Koenig Rukin completed for casting, so the top lane matchup going to be very hard to get pressure now.
Yeah. So it's a 6 CS lead. That's what Clear has managed to get to before the lane becomes...
Oh, and a plate.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. So he is, you know, 250 gold ahead.
Okay, so if you look at the item spikes that have come through, Raptor has Sundered Sky and VicLa has Malignant. They're really strong right now, so if you go for a dragon fight, it could be risky, but they're going to start off looking for Roma. Roma does have Flash.
Flag and Drag comes in. The Charm is going to connect. Great layering of CC, and down he goes. First blood. Just like that.
And Bro were trying to set up this dragon. They wanted Roma to move down to them, and Raptor just reads it so well. Face checking into the Jarvan, the CC is layered, no chance to pressure buttons, despite the Aurora being typically such a safe pick. Not able to make the way out.
This is rough, though, because now you've got the beat drop connecting onto Kellin. Taeyoon's going to move on over. Slurkle is good, but the Bros... Oh, man, there was almost an angle. Roma didn't quite have his teleporters. Now the equalizer comes down. Clear is going to flash to break the tether. There's the wild growth. Namgung taken out, and now the arrow is going to connect. Teddy looking for some angles, but they've just lost too much, and BNK FEARX, they find 2 in the play.
Big play there from Clear. Ends up giving up a bit in the top lane to make that play work, but will help them secure the dragon as well. Here, you can see the pings coming out, the assist pings coming from Bro. They want Roma just to move down. Didn't take the safe route, took the more dangerous route and paid for it. And then here, so a big thing as well is Namgung gets a massive ult, but the charm ends when he dies. Because you're being charmed, like it's the same with any charm.
Yeah.
And it means they can just walk it off immediately. Teddy with the early flash, and Namgung just held it a little bit too long. And as a result, doesn't get the value that he was hoping for.
Yeah, Ardent Sensor is now done for Kellin as well, alongside the Kraken Slayer. Yuntails is done for Teddy. And Namgung is a little bit further away from augmenting the damage of the Ashe. I just feel like you were talking about, the item spikes just a little bit too powerful here. BNK FEARX. I also think that like GIDEON with just a Hexplate, like that's all he has, like nothing else. Like a 5-year-old packing for a trip. You know, you just have your favorite toy and that's all you need in your suitcase.
I mean, for a 5-year-old, I think.
That's pretty good, honestly,
yeah.
Maybe I went a little bit too young. But still, you understand my sentiment.
Yeah, I think it's
quite have the necessities.
Teddy having the Yuntail obviously an item that needs to be stacked up to get the full value. Not going to have that. It's not going to be the strongest Ashe can be right now.
But they are a composition that can do stuff.
It's Ocean's second as well, so
oh my lord,
we're guaranteed a good soul.
And I feel like this game would be a ridiculous Cloud Soul game.
I knew you'd say that.
But it is! Like, look at it! Taeyoon presses ult and he can sprint 1 billion miles an hour. You know, Kellin can, like, wild growth anyone and then zip over and polymorph someone else. Clear throws down an equalizer and then, like, teleports to the enemy, basically. And gets the Flame Spirit out. That's brilliant. And the Bros, I mean, needs no introduction, right? GIDEON can stick to a target as soon as he's pressed his ultimate button. And now they are just going to get knocked up and murdered under this turret. My God! BNK FEARX have decided that they do not want the Bros in first place of the Rise group.
The value of the Jarvan into this Ashe Seraphine is just so high. And it was kind of obvious they were going to pick this in the draft, and it just is really being punishing them in this situation. You're flashless, and there's just nothing you can do to get out of that Cataclysm. The follow-up was great, the setup was great, mid-tower taken down. BNK FEARX with a 3,000 gold lead and feeling so good about that position in this game.
Yeah, it's only getting better now. They were the ones that were able to take that first dragon as well. So it's them with all of the control of the map. GIDEON is now at least able to head towards Shelly. Look to try and lock that one down. Raptor gonna find a little bit of an engage here, but the immediate paranoia, that is a lot of damage as Roma throws his ulti down as well. And the Bros not gonna go down without a fight.
Raptor just stepping too far, not respecting the engage potential they can have. BNK FEARX still hovering in the area. They know the paranoia is down, which is the big tool. There is the arrow from Teddy, but Taeyoon has cleanser. They're looking to fight this.
They're teleporting. This is crazy. All right, 10 seconds until Raptor's here. Casting's going to move on over as VicLa looking for the angle. Doesn't find the charm. And that is the secure on Shelly. Now Casting throwing down the train. Clear the only one to get knocked up, though. Still going to get hit by so much damage. Look at the damage! Flame Spitter, my God! And now Taeyoon's dashing forward. VicLa's getting the resets. And it doesn't matter that Raptor isn't here. They are just too strong. There's the ace.
Decimation from BNK FEARX. Did not even need their Jarvan, and as they all grouped up, funneled together, it was prime time for Taeyoon just to absolutely shred HANJIN BRION. The cleanup from VicLa as well was sublime. This play just really easily set up, going for Teddy and Namgung. Once in the Cataclysm, nothing they can really do. But then it was the pick onto Raptor. He just gets kind of baited. He is on a ward, goes for Roma. And the paranoia is immediate to punish him.
And I really thought that the Bros would then have all the power, right?
I think just a couple of low health bars here, and they were all trapped against the wall. You look at how the damage is cleaving every time he autos, and it makes it so easy for the Ahri.
My goodness. Taeyoon, very happy Yunara. 9-1. The kill score as well, close to a 6,000 gold advantage. One of our largest so far in the whole series.
Yep.
Let alone for 17 minutes into the game.
And you look at the items that have come through now. Rocket Bell completed for the Ahri, 10 stacks of Dark Seal. Probably going to pick up a Medjay soon for VicLa. Taeyoon already got that second item completed. We saw the cleave value there. That was pre-Runan, so...
Yeah, I mean, he
didn't
go
go
for the
Runan,
Fiend
he went
Hunter
for the
this
Fiend
time.
Hunter, so... Still a lot of burst available on the ult.
Yeah. Well, now, Clear is moving on over. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you wish for something and then you get it.
VicLa will dodge that.
You will. The ward didn't, though. Aha. Well, Roma looks for the angle, doesn't quite find it. Raptor is able to get a control ward
Teddy's
down.
position mid. He's just zoned away from the tower completely.
Yep.
Gideon's fishing for a play on the top side of the map and just doesn't even find anything. Mid-tier 2 taken down here. And Max is a Cloud Soul.
It is. I know. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah. Magnificent.
And that means the BNK FEARX can do all of those crazy things that I was talking about.
There's the Medjay's for VicLa.
Oh dear, 10 stacks already.
They're already zooming
Yep.
in this game.
And the Cloud is only going to make that exponentially more awesome. Okay, Bro's going to be able to get some bounty gold here. That is at least something.
I feel like so often in a game when I see the bounty gold, it's like, oh, nice, we can get bounty gold. But it's like, oh, that's the state of the game right now.
Yeah, and
like
also,
the pity gold.
I have to then get towards these inner turrets as well, which is somewhat difficult. Thankfully, in Bro's case, they've barely taken any turrets, so they don't need to worry about that. The outer and mid lane still up, outer and bottom lane still up. They get a few extra plates here on this top side, so that is something.
At the item differential in the mid lane, Roma did just pick up a large rod, but it's like you have the Malignance, the Rocket Bell, and the 10-stack Medjays.
Yeah.
Versus Luden's and a rod.
Yeah. Roma isn't doing very much at the moment. At least Casting has now upgraded his Rookern. And so get level 14, maybe upgrade someone else's something. That's going to be pretty cool. But this game is very, very close to just being kind of done.
That's the thing, if Casting levels up, he can actually upgrade all of Roma's completed items.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
100% upgrade rate?
Yeah,
that's nuts. I didn't know that he could even do that.
Everyone in Bro, he would be able to do that for. 100% of their completed items would just be upgraded, which is an insane ratio for the Ornn to have.
Yeah, really well done. I'm just proud that the Bros have an item to upgrade, to be honest, because otherwise he might hit level 14 and there's nothing he can really do. That would be sad.
That wouldn't be so great.
No, Baron has just spawned. Strikebreaker is at least done here for Gideon. And that is some damage out from Roma, but now BNK just setting up a bit of a siege here towards this bottom side. And they're just moving Taeyoon from lane to lane. See what he can actually find here as the arrow is going to connect on to this Yunara, who does eventually cleanse. Equalizer goes down, doesn't really do too much. Great charm, though, from VicLa as now Gideon goes in, looking for the angle. VicLa is just able to bounce around the team fight. Polymorph is not quite going to work as the double knockup comes in. But where is the damage? Where is the follow-up? It just doesn't exist, and Namgung is just dead with no real recourse here. They at least deal with the minion wave. But the Bro's going to have to do better than that. Namgung
just got absolutely deleted there.
I didn't even
so much
notice.
damage from VicLa. He just caught him with the charm and just one-shot him, basically.
Oh my God.
So I actually like the late cleanse from Taeyoon because that forces them to burn more. Because if you just cleanse for the arrow, then they can re-engage on you later. But he actually forces them to commit more heavily. Oh, where'd he go?
Just a charm.
Yeah, it's a magic trick. And then I think BNK FEARX demonstrating what they've demonstrated a lot this series, not overstepping, not going too far, not going too deep. I think game 2 they did a little bit of that, but for the most part they've been more patient. And I think it paid off there because you could definitely see them just diving into the tower and it backfiring. But like, look, we're so far ahead. We have a fed Yunara Lulu. We don't need to do anything too crazy. There's a Cloud Soul we can pick up. Atlus always says how great that is.
He does. And he'll say it again. He already has reiterated it, so maybe I don't have to. Namgung, I'm sorry, buddy, but you are just really, really dead. Roma, I'm sorry, buddy, but you really have to flash.
You know, we've had some games where Namgung's eaten a lot of deaths. It's happened. Yeah. And we had that Camille game where he bounced back massively, got the series.
Are you saying today's the day?
I'm saying there are sometimes there are worthy deaths, but these deaths just feel a little bit of a byproduct of someone on BNK FEARX looks at Namgung, and he just ceases to exist.
Oh, his screen tends to go grayscale. That is very, very true. As Raptor didn't want to take
Nice
up the turret, as now we've got the launch in of this Nocturne. Between Worlds comes down, and Taeyoon is dead. Teddy's kiting. No charm is going to connect. Raptor is likely to go down. It's actually the Encore that kills him, but Teddy falls as well. And Clear is finally teleported into the fight. You can see Casting's actually just kind of wandering over, didn't have his teleport up and available. That is a better fight for the Bros than I think they had any right to have.
Yeah, I will say, Kellin went for the Moonstone second. I think he should have gone Mikhail's. Don't think it necessarily would have changed the case here, but not having the cleanse could be a pretty difficult situation to deal with. We see Roma goes in and just nukes him. This is beautiful from Raptor, though. Goes in the brush, and it means Teddy does eventually get him, but it just buys so much time. Teddy had flashed in like, it's my time to carry, it's my time to pop off. And I think that was just such a momentum killer from Raptor there.
Yeah. It was very nicely done. And then Teddy gets taken down by the 7-0-3 VicLa, who is a gigantic monster here in this game. Shadow Flame is on the way, 18 stacks on the Magi's. And I think that if he makes eye contact with GIDEON, GIDEON might just die. I feel like VicLa is just kind of Cyclops now in this game. And it's going to be a real rough time for anyone on the Bros.
Yeah, no flashes on HANJIN BRION's bot lane now, which is pretty important. That Cataclysm seems a bit of a winning strategy.
I think so. Or just Charm over Deception. I think no one survives that. BNK FEARX are going to be able to grab Soul Point. No answer here by the Bros. And one away from that coveted Cloud Soul. Coveted by at least me. Now Taeyoon and Kellin going to be pushing this way forward. VicLa doing the top side, and Clear is down here on this bottom lane.
I think at least in that fight, we saw, if BNK FEARX do really misstep, the potential for HANJIN BRION's composition. I think it would look a lot better if they weren't 6,000 gold behind. A lot of compositions are like that, by the way.
Yeah.
If they're not 6,000 gold behind.
I think it's really good to have that general information.
Yeah, I think that's just a golden rule of League of Legends.
Yeah. I think Teddy looks better, though, with the Yuntals that has, orange border. Because now it matches the Runan's way better.
Raptor is fishing. Oh, on the Ornn.
He's going to find a conductor, as Casting does have to flash out of the way. Equalizer comes down, and Casting has to walk the entire red carpet. He's relatively tanky, does find the train's return, but there's the flash out from the Rumble. Down goes the Ashe. Taeyoon is still alive, and that's going to be the ace. A surprising moment when Namgung dies last, but BNK FEARX, it's a clean ace. And they will be able to deny Bro first place in the Rise group and finally take them down this season.
Just too strong right now. Taeyoon dives into the middle of HANJIN BRION and they cannot shut him down. Death time is too long. They're going to end it here. And BNK FEARX keeping the hopes alive to top out their group.
Still with one more to play. They were the team with the least games played so far. This is their first match for this week. And they have one more left.